Lockdown number one for me was completely different, I suppose, because I was obviously heavily pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
And in a way, it was probably quite fortunate, really, because I had to cancel one of my events, which was obviously I was absolutely gutted about. But I think it was like 10 days before my due date. So I think in hindsight, that was probably a blessing because that would have been really hard work. And obviously Ash was home for 8 weeks. We made the decision that he was going to be at home so that I wasn't at risk being pregnant. And so we just had the three of us at home for 8 weeks, which was in a way quite nice.
I must have been beautiful.
It was amazing. The weather was absolutely amazing. We got to spend time in the garden. We did loads of we talked a lot about so many things and kind of just where we see where we want to go with things, what we want to do, both our businesses. It was really, really good. And we thought, we were like, we never get any rest. We've got one child, we never get any rest. Or time to talk and do the things we used to do. And now we've got two, and one seems easy. You're like, what was I worried about when I had one child?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then halfway through, obviously, Joshua came along the day after my birthday. So thank God it wasn't on my birthday.
Can you imagine?
Oh no, that would not have been nice. Don't want to be in hospital for that.
Happy birthday to Bush!
Let this thing out of me! Yeah, it was the day after, bless him. But then it was just the case of, and again, I think in hindsight, you have the pressure of everybody coming to see the child, the baby, when they're first born. I don't know, Duke, what you might be able to relate to that, but we didn't really have that because no one was allowed to come round. So again, in a way, it was quite nice because it's more relaxed. You can just take time for yourself and chill rather than have to worry about 100 people wanting to come around and hold the baby sort of thing. So, and I never had that with Oliver because obviously that was a completely different story altogether. So yeah, so I think lockdown was just a bit, I don't know, we kind of used it in a positive way every way we could. So it was quite nice.
I think it's good to hear all of that because you hear a lot of people I don't want to say anything, but a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I'm bored. Oh my gosh, I mean, there were so many things, and I'm thinking, wait, hold on, this is there's so many things that you probably wanted to do. This is the best time to do them. That's all that was in my mind. I was thinking, oh, I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do that. I've signed up some courses and everything. And so when this came, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm at home. I've got to do these things, even though I had things to do with work. But still, there's no having to worry about travel, having to worry about having to go here and come back again, or having to meet people. Oh, Mike, I'm having a shindig. You want to come? Okay, all right, cool. I'll stay there for a few hours and then I've got to come back and then do work. I didn't have to worry about all that. I could stay, even though with me, I mean, I know you guys were saying that you've got routines, but my routine was if I'm doing work and my work went overtime, sometimes I would work through the night. I would work through the night just to get some projects done, just to get some things done. And so my mornings sometimes were kind of wake up at 11, wake up at 12, because I'd work till about 4 or 5 in the morning. And while everybody's waking up, I'm hearing the birds tweet. I'm just like, let me at least get some shut eye, But my main thing was that I can't believe that some people don't want to grasp this moment and say, I know other people have their reasons, I don't know what's going on in other people's lives, but for me, it was just kind of okay, this is the opportunity. I want to learn this, I want to do this, I want to do that. And yes, I want to watch some films on Netflix. It's all good.
And I think, do you know what? I think there was a huge amount of pressure for people, especially in business. I don't know if you guys, how you felt, but there was a huge amount of pressure to become very reactive to the situation. People were slashing prices, giving freebies away, and it kind of created this environment of and now we all have to do that and jump on this bandwagon. And it's really hard to stay away from that and stay confident in your vision and your plan, because that didn't change. Just the environment changed, and I think everybody was very reactive from a business point of view. That I was definitely very conscious of that, and how I got involved or didn't get involved within that.
Lauren, how was was you still able to do business stuff, or was it just kind of like, let me just focus, obviously because you were pregnant at that time, but was your business still going on? Were you still getting clients and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I was working. So this is brilliant, right? And I forget this all the time. I don't think I've ever told anyone this. So Joshua was born at 11 o'clock on the Tuesday, I think it was. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was in hospital and I was like trying to get the kid out. And I just remember thinking, I said to Ash, I was like, Ash, you've got to text Jess, she was like my admin behind the scenes, like organizer of everything. I was like, you've got to text Jess because we have a Facebook Live at 11 o'clock today and I'm not going to make it. We need to let them know that I can't be there. So can you organize for someone to sort that out? Like, this was in my brain 3 hours before he was born.
Wow.
Whilst it was all happening, I was like, right, we need to text this, and then she needs to let all the members know, because it was a members thing that was happening. So then she had to let all the members know, and I was like, so she kept it quite discreet, and all these things were happening in my mind. I was like, what are you doing? Just sort it out.
Wow. That is crazy.
So yeah, I kept working the whole way.
I had a vision of Lauren just be like, you know what, Ashley, can you just remind me of that?
I don't know how I remembered
my days.
I did. Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Heads of 2 pencils and a pad.
Go on, fire away.
Yeah. How was the business like? How was the business for you? Like, at the end of it, when you looked back, what did you think?
I think you know what, like, when we started, I think we never forecasted. I think I speak for Duke as well. We never forecasted the success we would have that we've had over that period of time. It was absolutely incredible. It was like I couldn't have wished it to go any better. At that time, it was incredible. We was doing websites, we were doing logos, we was having momentum. Like our name was like in everyone's mouth. Like in the moment, me and Duke will wake up and we go, "There's more consultations."
Yeah.
We just done 4 yesterday, and we wake up again. I got to do more.
This is what we wanted.
I was just doing consultations for like a week. I said, I haven't done any designs. They paid the deposits already. People can listen to it, I'll be real. I was like, I've just been doing consultations all day. And then all I've done is research and consultations for the projects. So literally we couldn't predict that it would have gone that well. I think what helped, and I don't want to say it helped, but I think what made an impact as well was the Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, RIP George Floyd. When that happened, all of a sudden everyone was like, we need to invest in black, and then it just went off for us because we were like the black graphic designers. People kind of knew who, and so if you didn't know, you kind of knew us because of what Black Business Show. Well, if you search for us, like black-owned business, we would come up as the first graphic designers. So it kind of just snowballed, and then before we knew it, the people that were like half-hearted turned into like, we're going to invest, literally. And then they saw the value in us, and it just catapulted us to where we are now. So I think possibly that was like, this has been our most successful year out of the whole 6.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm very grateful for what's happened, and the team. Like, I remember going into meetings with the team, like, and I was so excited just to see the team because of their energy and what we've been doing and what we've achieved, and the designs and the level of designs. If it wasn't like the stuff we were creating, it was the social media, the logos, the websites, the idents. It was crazy. And we just recruited like 3 or 4 people at the end of the year. So we got like IT, Kareem, Minaz, and I knew what was the other one. I can't remember. And then Federica.
Yeah.
And then they came in and they were like, oh. So we just there. Because we went from like 6 to 10, and then it was just like, boom. And
Amazing.
Yeah. Duke, if you want to add, bro. But
said in a nutshell.
Yeah, it was.
It's probably been, out of all the years, probably the most work I've ever done.
Yeah.
In a good way, and I guess the level as well, because obviously we were all able to kind of work at a pace that we didn't know that we had. So
yeah,
positive this year.
It was literally overwhelming. I was going to sleep and I was like, Whoa. I said to Duke, we got to put a waiting list. We've got to do it now because
Oh, yes, I remember that.
I can't do this. I'm scared because if we take more, who's doing the work? And we looked at each other like, I'm doing 5 projects, you're doing 5. Well, where's the others going to come from? Like, the others are doing 4 or 3. Like, we got nowhere to move. So it was crazy. We did the waiting list because we had to. There was I've never, And then the demand went up, like, on that as well.
And I believe we achieved all of them as well.
Yeah, literally.
All of them. So that's
nice.
a highlight.
Yeah.
That's so good. All right, who's got the next question?
D, you got a question?
Don't make me pick.
All right, let me do one then. Let me do mine. I don't know if this question's. Let me do it anyway. How do you balance your work with your personal life, and has it caused you any conflict in your relationships with your partner, friends, or family?
I like this one a lot. Because
look, I'm not starting. I asked the question.
Yeah, go on then, coach.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Okay. I love this one because I think I like the bit that you added at the end about the conflict, because I think sometimes we always talk about it in our own point of view, as if like our own balance of work and life. And I think that in itself is a challenge. You know, we're always trying to juggle this thing. And that's probably my whole thing about living designedly, right? It's like, you've got to make it work for you. Don't worry about everybody else and how they're balancing things. Balance your own plates and make them your own plates. Like, if you want a yellow plate, do that. If you want a square plate, do that. Whatever it is. But I like the end question, because I think that's probably one of the most important things, because we kind of, what's the right word? How do I put it? It's like, I think if the communication isn't there at the start of like what it is you're trying to achieve and you're in it together, then it's really hard to get there. Like, really difficult. And I know that I am super hard to live with, because I'm constantly on the go. I'm so ambitious. I want to work all the time. I just want to work, because I love it. And I just want to do more of it as much as I can. And I have 1,000 ideas, and you get sick and tired of hearing all of them. You know, oh, what's new now? What's she doing now?
I love it.
Wow.
But like, he is so understanding, because that, like, our communication is so strong that it's like, this is what we signed up for. And so there are days when we're like, why don't we just take the easy route? You know, just get a job and just take the easy route. And then we're like, no, because that's not who we are. That's not what we're about. Yes, it might be easy. That's not what we want. That's not the end game. And the family part of it, I'm not as interested in, funnily enough. Like, if they don't like it, it doesn't really matter. Because it's not their life. The interest for me is my relationship and the 2 boys. Like, as long as our little family is cool, like mum, dad, sister, I don't worry about what they do, because it's up to them. If they want to work 100% of the time, great. If they want to not work all the time, that's fine too. Like, it's up to them. I respect however they want to live, because that's living designedly to me.
Actually, we just have to remember, like, we have all met Lauren's dad. You remember that, man?
Yeah, I met.
So when she says all this and everything, when she was speaking just now, I just remembered the man that I met, and I was just like, this is where she gets it from. So like,
yeah, we are very similar.
yeah.
I met her sister as well.
Yeah.
Same eyes. Right, but yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? It's really funny. When we did the events and my sister was helping me, people were going to my sister, having conversations, thinking it was me. And we're like, we look nothing alike. Like, nothing alike.
Yeah, just the eyes, and that's it.
Wow.
My sister is so different to me, you know, and my mum is so different. My mum's worked in the same job for 30 years, working for the NHS in the hospital. Like, that's what she wants to do, and she likes the other part of life. Like, the work-life balance for her is very different to what I would want it to be, because work for me is part of my life and I love it. It's just very different. That's why I'm not too worried about that side.